Over the past 2 years, I've spent over 150 hours immersed in the world of Ready or Not, and I am finally ready to share my experience with the world. My goal for this video is to educate and also give you kind of a background on the game itself over the past couple years and just how the stages of development have actually affected the game and the gameplay. I want to help people determine if it's worth it, if this is your kind of game, or if this is something that you might just enjoy the content of, but you might not enjoy actually playing the game. So the game has been in development for about 2 years, 3 years, at least as far as early access has been available. I personally picked up the game in July of 2022. Since that time, I've played over 150 hours of this game, most of which I was live on Twitch for, ttv/blakeluvsu. I recently watched my first stream ever of this game, and you can tell if you've seen the game now in the current state that it's in. If you go back about 2 years in the timeline, I'll put up some footage right now, but if you go back, you can tell the building blocks for this game were there. All the fundamentals were there. The AI mechanics, the teammates, the building blocks were there, but they didn't really have it fledged out. And that's been the coolest part about this to me. The coolest part about all early access games, honestly, is that you're kind of part of the development process with everybody. It's a very communal thing, and I love it because they actually listen to a lot of the community feedback, at least from what I've seen in YouTube comments, forums, Reddit posts, all that good stuff. Because I'm a fucking nerd. I'm an absolute nerd when it comes to this kind of stuff. I love looking into the behind the scenes of everything and just seeing where the game's going, where it's been, where it's headed, all that good stuff. So I feel really honored to be part of the early access process for this game, because when I bought it, the game was only $40, and now it's been raised up to $50, and I've heard a lot of complaints about that, and like, oh, is it worth it, is it not? It's still not a $60 AAA access title, whatever. Jesus Christ, it's not $120 like they're saying GTA 6 is going to be. Thank God. But with that said, some people still are questioning, is it worth it? Obviously, there's no one-size-fits-all answer, but that's what I'm hoping to get into with today's video. I really want to explain to y'all what the strengths and weaknesses of this game are and kind of give you more context on why this game is so impressive to me. So back at the start of the game, if you look at some of the HUD and some of the in-game mechanics as far as controlling teammates, like I said earlier, the building blocks were there, but it's not nearly as good as it is right now. They started off with a lot less options. You could only do a few options. You couldn't have your teammates go on you. It would all be exclusively like team controlled, and then like the team would do the breach and all this stuff, and you didn't really have many options as far as just deploying certain things. One thing that the game did do right off the bat was the graphics and the gunplay. The graphics in this game are absolutely fantastic. I love the cinematic lighting and just how immersive the actual experience is. Like if you play this game with no HUD and just go into a level by yourself, it's one of the scariest fucking things you can do, honestly. You don't need a horror movie when you have Ready or Not. They've seriously improved on the graphics over the last 2 years. Even though they started off in a great position, it has only gotten better. Now, I'm going to include some footage of this hotel map. Real OGs know this map. This is... I wish they still had this map. I was talking to another friend about this the other day, and I really wish they still had the hotel map in there. But I'm getting sidetracked. With the gunplay, one of the things that impressed me the most in the first 10 minutes of playing this game was the amount of controls and the amount of variation that each gun has, or not necessarily the amount of variation, but the amount of different guns that they had and the realistic models that they had. It was super impressive to me and very intriguing. I'm a gun nut myself. I really just enjoy the Second Amendment. And I just can appreciate the work that went into it. And again, with the lighting and the graphics themselves, playing with these guns really feels how they're supposed to. Like, submachine guns don't pop up as much on recoil as much as the AR does, depending on the attachments that you have. You can put different sights on there. I wish they had more guns, and they have, again, over the course of the last 2 years, they have switched up which guns are in the game and which attachments are in the game. So there have been some experiences with different guns, but I just wish there was more. And that's the insatiable part of me is saying I always will wish for more. I still love the game as it is, and I love the options that they give you. And again, it kind of plays into this story that they're trying to tell, because the narrative that Void has given everybody is that the game is supposed to be showing the experience or giving you the experience of being in an underfunded SWAT team. And that's kind of what it feels like. Because on one hand, yes, they're underfunded when you look at the headquarters, and if you look at like the amount of variation in the gun choice, you could say that there's a limited budget to a degree. But they also have night vision goggles, which are like a couple thousand, like $10,000, you know. So where's the lack of budget there? You know. So like I said, yes, over time they have changed the guns, but they really haven't added necessarily too many new ones with the 1.0 update. Even there's still a pretty similar selection to the previous version. I guess it was 0.9 or whatever the latest beta version before the full drop was. Another thing that I touched on was the maps, and I really have enjoyed seeing the new maps that have come out with the 1.0 update. Again, I wish there were some older ones that you could still replay or play in like practice mode or something. As far as the full 1.0 drop goes, I am really happy with the new maps. Overall, I think they were a great choice. I think they were a great addition to the game. It's been really fun to explore them as well. And again, as a player that has been on this journey of Ready or Not, as it's been getting developed over the last couple of years, you're a lot more invested. You're a lot more invested in, like, which map are they going to choose? Which map are they going to put out? Like, which maps are they going to toss? Like, they should do this, they should do that. So seeing the 1.0 update, and I've seen generally how it's been received, I think has been pretty positive. But is it the right game for everybody? No, not at all. If you like Call of Duty and you like fast-paced, first-person shooters, this probably is not the game for you, honestly. But if you like games that are fast-paced first-person shooters and you've been looking for something different, try it out, because I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. The biggest thing as far as strategy and pacing goes with the game, it's been such a journey, changing your mindset from like, I can just run through this map and just like, if I die, I'm gonna respawn, and then like yada yada. Nah, buddy, I'm telling you. And I understand, it's a video game. It's a video game at the end of the day. But if you let yourself get immersed in it, if you really just right, let me set the scene for you, okay? Because this is exactly how I play this fucking game, dude. You get off work, right? You sit down at your chair, 30 minutes, hour of game time, you know, and you're just like, I want something good, something really, give me a little something different. Doc, load up Ready or Not, and you just play a couple maps and really get in the mentality of like, okay, if I was a SWAT officer responding to this scene, this is what I'd be doing. And I'm telling you, it is one of the funnest times you'll ever have. It's fun. I say fun very loosely. It's very immersive. If you have a heart issue, like if you have any cardiac problems, don't play this game. Like, I swear to God, you will have a heart attack. It's probably a health risk if we're being real. Because I've almost shit myself live on camera like 5 times minimum playing this game. Probably more. And it's fantastic, and I love it, and I keep coming back because it's a great game. That's one of the strengths of this game, is replayability. But even though you only have a limited map selection, the replayability of each map is fantastic because the character placement for suspects is randomly generated. You might have played the map 50 times, but you have no idea where the enemy is going to be. And this brings me to another point. One of the weaknesses of the 1.0 update comparatively to the previous versions is that you can no longer choose the game mode. And I'll show footage of this on the screen here. In the early stages of this game, you were able to select a map, and then it would give you a variety of options to choose from as far as the mission type that you wanted to experience in that map. This would include barricaded suspects, raid, active shooter, bomb threat, and hostage rescue. They were very similar, of course, to keep the game coherent, but also very different in how you would go about each mission, which I thought was one of my favorite parts, because then if you're in there with your buddies and you're wanting to say like, let's just warm up and do a barricaded suspects, or we'll warm up and we'll do a raid, so that way then you go into an active shooter mission, and then it's more high pace, more fast-paced, more intense, like the pressure's on. Hostage rescues are insane. The bomb threats scared the shit out of me, man. When I played those in the early access, the bomb threat was probably one of my favorite ones to play off camera, just because it is that wild. Like it really, the game does a great job at immersing you in the experience and really giving you a taste of what it's like. But that said, on the new map in the 1.0 update, you can't choose the game type, which I'm honestly a little disappointed about. I was really hoping that at least in the practice mode, no matter how the campaign ended up turning out for this game, I was really hoping that there would be a practice mode that I would be able to continue doing this as far as choosing individual missions based on different maps, because again, I think it gives a lot of replayability to the game itself. And I did want to also touch on the multiplayer aspect of this game, although I think it could be better as far as including some AI in the multiplayer experience. I really do enjoy just a solo duo, or I guess just a duo experience with your friends, or a trio, or you can even load into a public lobby and just play with random people. And that's been one of the most interesting parts, is when you play with random people. If your mic is on, you know, some people take it very seriously. A lot of folks take it seriously in this game, which is one reason why I've strayed away from playing the multiplayer experience personally. Just because I'm a more casual gamer. Even if I am taking something seriously, people don't want to hear my fart jokes for some reason. Haters. But anyways, one of my favorite aspects of the multiplayer experience is the nonverbal communication between you and other teammates if you don't have a mic on. I've been thinking about doing a separate video about this as far as nonverbal communication in video games. So if you want to see that, drop a comment for me. Let me know if you would want to see that, because it's a little bit more in depth of a topic, and I would want to do some research on it and really, you know, give a good presentation for it. But if you guys want to see it, I mean, just let me know if you want to see it. So one of the other common questions is, I mean, is it worth it? And again, this brings me back to my overall point. As far as the good, let's break it down. The strengths of the game: fantastic replayability. It's cinematic lighting, very dramatic, very immersive experience. Gunplay is fantastic, and I will say that in the 1.0 update, the AI teammates have gotten significantly better. The versatility as far as the commands that you can give them and the actual responsiveness of them, generally speaking, much better. There have been some instances, of course, where with the AI teammates where it's a little bit hairy, but not enough to really affect the gameplay overall, in my opinion. The weaknesses of the game: again, if you have a heart condition or anything like that, don't play this game, because you will have a fucking heart attack. Another weakness is the amount of gun options. Some people might find it a little bit of a turnoff. Some people might think it's dead perfect. Personally, you know, there's mods out there if you want to get them. I don't have any of them, but I have seen mods for different types of firearm. I'm sure that they will be putting out more over time. If they do anything similar to the pre-release of the game, then they will be taking very good care of this. I really hope so. I have really high hope for any patches to come moving forward. Another thing that people might be a little perturbed or a little put off by, people might be a little bit put off by the amount of customization on each gun. I think it's the perfect amount. I think it gives you enough options to select what is suitable for the mission type that you are going into, but also not too many where you get bogged down in the, oh, well, I should do this and that to maximize my yada yada. Fuck off. Just play the game. If you can't beat it with the iron sights and flashlight on an MK18, go fuck yourself. How about that? That's a joke. And then the last weakness is just some of the AI enemies. And I know a lot of other folks have talked about this, but this again is something that I'm hoping will be patched within the next little bit. Whatever that timeline looks like for the team. I'm not a game dev. I have no idea what it takes to do this stuff, but I really do hope that they improve on the game as we move forward and just make those little fixes on the AI, specifically for the enemies. So, like, you know, again, on specific maps, it's not a widespread issue, but like on specific maps, there are enough instances where you can either see somebody through a door or they can see you through a door. It's just not a good time. It's a little rough, to say the least. Okay, but now you're asking yourself, Blake, should I buy the fucking game or not? In my opinion, yeah, buy it. If you've been looking for a change of pace and you're tired of like just the battle royale style, fast pace, and like just like first person shooter, yada yada, or even if you just want to break from it, it's a great way to give yourself a taste of something different. Being more methodical, being more strategical with your approaches, being more prone to teamwork and working cohesively with other people. I think it's a fantastic team building experience. Even if you're just playing with your friends casually, I think it's a great time. Whether you're being serious about it or just getting in there and absolutely murking everybody and committing war crimes, You know, it's dealer's choice. That's the beautiful thing about it. It is a free world. You get to play how you want to. Or you might just say, hey, I just want to watch this game on YouTube and watch everybody else have a heart attack. That's cool too. I think it's a good game. I think you should check it out. And if you have any other questions, please drop them in the comments. I'd love to talk more about this game. I really have been enjoying it for the last 2 years that I've been playing it. And I am really excited to do more of the Iron Man Challenge series as well. I'm really looking forward to that. I think we can complete it by the end of this year. If you guys have any questions about the game or any topics that you want me to cover regarding Ready or Not or any other games similar to it, I would love to talk about this game more because I really do enjoy it. If you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this type of content, please be sure to drop a like for me. It really does help out with engagement. Or a comment. A comment would be just as cool too. You know, if you don't like what you see, please tell me how I can be better. I'm always looking to improve and make better stuff for myself and for everybody. So with that, I appreciate you guys again. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss a video as well. I'll be putting out daily videos of City Skylines 2 and Ready or Not for the foreseeable future. And if you have any other game suggestions as well, I'm always open to it. Somebody said that they wanted me to play horror games. So if you have any horror game suggestions, please let me know in the comments because I don't have anything in mind. So I know I'm rambling now, but I really do appreciate you guys a lot. So I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.